Good morning and welcome to the NuSpecies Live. I'm Jillian.
And I'm Aston. Good morning.
NuSpecies' mission is to help our clients live better and longer. NuSpecies invents and manufactures our own line of high potency herbal formulas that are designed to support your body against the toughest of health challenges. We're all on our own health journey, and a good health choice means something different for each of us. And that's why we host this Q&A every Saturday at 10 a.m. so that you can get the answers to your questions that will help you continue along your own unique journey. Thank you so much for being with us here today. I know some of you have been joining on Instagram, and when you're chatting, we may not see your chats because the feed that we see in front of us is actually comes from Facebook and YouTube, but Instagram doesn't integrate into it. So if you have questions that you want to make sure get answered, maybe hop on over to YouTube instead of Instagram. But we do try to check it. All right.
And there was a time to ask family members. A lot of you have been telling me that you've been fighting with your family to get them to join. And at least listening to our live stream on a Saturday morning. So now is the time to WhatsApp them, email them, text them, whatever, call them, tell them to join, just to listen in. And if they have questions, they can ask away.
Sure. So you could just go to the top of your URL bar, double click to highlight the URL, and then you can hit copy and paste it into your family group message or toward anybody that you have been wanting to join. We always say that we understand it can be hard to explain our products, what NuSpecies does. So let us do the explaining. If they join, we can answer any of their questions. We won't be offended if there's any tough questions or skeptical questions. We know the health world is quite complicated and confusing, and so we're happy to help them through all of those kinds of questions.
Right. They can also go to NuSpecies.com and click on events and just follow the links to join the live stream. So, and of course, YouTube. So get them to join and let's re-educate the world. That's what we do. At least that's what we try to do.
Yes. All right. Good morning to June. Good morning, Maxine. Good morning, Kayla. So you can keep saying good morning to us. We appreciate knowing you're here, even if you don't have anything in particular that you want to post. I will say that while we're waiting for some questions to come in, we have been spending some more time in the stores, and it's been really wonderful seeing all of you. So on a Tuesday and Thursday, 2 weeks ago, we were in Bronxville, and then this past Monday, we were in Elmont. And we will keep you informed of any upcoming dates when we will be in store. We're currently working out the schedule now, and we'll hopefully plan it through the rest of the summer at least. And then we'll post it. I don't know if you know, but on our website, there's an events tab, which we might have just changed to be called Live Q&A. But if you click on that navigation menu option, we have an embedded Google Calendar that shows you any events happening with NuSpecies. So typically it would be if me and Aston were going to be in the store, our live Q&A, any other live streams, and then maybe other types of events that we eventually host. So you'll always be able to see on that Google Calendar what our events are, but we keep you informed in our email list. We keep you informed on our app. So those are all ways that you can stay informed or allow us to keep you informed. So you don't really have to do much.
And the few days we were down there, I enjoyed immensely. I miss you guys. I just miss you guys. You guys are so awesome. Oh, boy. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to spending more time down there.
When client got upset that you even wasted a minute of your time opening the door for her.
Oh, boy.
She said, Aston's opening the door for me?
I opened the door for my people.
I said, what do you think we're here for? We're here for you.
Yeah, I know a lot of you are accustomed to seeing me behind a wall of glass when I'm in the office.
Oh, yeah.
And these times I've been down there. I've been right there in the open. So people are not accustomed to seeing me just standing there, sitting there in the open.
Right. So the time we're spending in the stores, we are just up front, just like we're with Ashley or Shahrazad, and we're just hanging out. So people will pull Aston aside and ask questions, but we're not like going into the office for private consultations. Those are still done over the phone or over a video. One thing we are considering, though, is potentially opening up some hours for consultation here in Pawling. So those of you who want to take a little trip, have a nice lunch locally and see Aston, we would love for you to do that. So again, we will keep you informed as all of these things develop.
That's why you need to have the NuSpecies app on your phone if you don't, or subscribe to our email, or if you're not on our text list, you need to get on our text list. I think those are the three main ways we communicate with our
Email,
family.
app, text.
Okay.
Yep.
So download the NuSpecies app. If you have issues, ask a family member, friend, or just call NuSpecies and ask us to do it for you, and join our email list. And of course, make sure you're on our text list. A lot of you been telling me that you prefer text over email and the app because text is instantaneous.
With the text, though, we can only fit so many characters. So, if we have to then find a place to link you to then give you more details. So, it depends on what we want to tell you. It's just great if you can be on all means of communication, but
yeah,
it's fine. Either way, we'll figure out how to make it work for you.
So right. Updates, we have updates.
We have some updates.
Okay.
Still waiting for some questions to come in. Kayla says, Jillian, this blue looks amazing on you. Thank you. So my mom used to always say that when I was growing up. I should wear blue to match my eyes.
Is that Kayla, our Kayla?
I think it's our Kayla.
Are you our Kayla?
Mary says it's our Kayla,
okay.
But I don't recognize the picture. It's hard to see from here.
I know our June, but I just want to make sure it's our Kayla.
June never changes her picture on us, so I got it. But hi, Kayla. It's so happy. We're happy to have you here.
So, okay, right. So updates.
Right. So we are still, as you know, 2024 has, or you may know, 2024 has been quite a transition year for NuSpecies. We had to make the very difficult decision to close our Brooklyn store because we just couldn't find anyone to work there. You know that it had closed for months at a time over the last several years, and that was just really inconvenient for you. It was really difficult for us to manage. And so, but we still want to be in Brooklyn. So we're looking for feedback, any tips or ideas. We're not necessarily ready to reopen like a full-time storefront, but even just like an office space where we can go once a week to see you. And
it's so hard to find people to work.
Yeah.
It's incredible. The Brooklyn store was closed off sometimes for months, people. We couldn't find anyone to work. And that's the only reason it's closed. It was a very successful store. And as you all know, I was there for at least 9-10 years, helping to build up our presence down there in Brooklyn. And it was, when we closed it, it was tremendously successful. We just couldn't find anyone to work there. So if any office space, not necessarily a storefront, right? An office space that we can just open something and have someone there once or twice a week for you to get your products, for you to pick up your products.
Right.
We really don't want to start doing what we did in the early days of NuSpecies, leaving products at restaurants and clubs,
like pickup centers
and pickup places. We don't want to do that. Whatever we do should be a NuSpecies place, exclusively NuSpecies. So
right. And ideally either be directly on a popular bus route or have parking, because that's always the other thing in Brooklyn is we could find a great space, but then there's nowhere for you to park, or that your bus doesn't come there.
Right.
And so it needs to be convenient, obviously, for you to get there.
Right.
In the meantime, while Brooklyn is closed for up to 6 months, we've agreed to ship products to you for free. So you're not going to pay for shipping. And I think that's going to end at the end of this year. Having said that, starting next week, we are launching on our website the option for you to get a delivery guarantee. So I know that a lot of folks don't like to ship products because you can't stand the post office. And I understand we're stuck with the post office because they have the best rates. And if we use FedEx or UPS, the rates are going to go double and you're going to hate that even more. So what we're doing is a little fusion. There's a product called delivery guarantee. Is that what it's called? So starting mid next week, when you check out on our website, in the checkout area right before you pay, you'll see an option. The box will automatically be checked. If you don't want it, you'll have to uncheck it. And, for anywhere from $1 to a couple of dollars, you can pay to add on delivery guarantee.
That's wonderful.
Right. And so it's not us doing it. We have partnered with a company that provides this insurance for you. And basically how it works is if your package gets lost, stolen, or damaged, they will just refund you. and they take you through the claims process. And it's very simple. As soon as you check out with our products, as long as you've checked that box or you haven't unchecked it, you'll get an email from them. The company's called Seal, and they'll tell you, thank you for buying, delivery guarantee. If you want to make a claim, click this link. If you didn't intend to buy it, you can cancel it right here. And so that should help ease your concerns about shipping with the post office. And if your package gets delayed after you meet that delayed criteria, they'll start to pay you out $5 a day every day you don't get your package.
Mhm.
So really, it's a very, very good service, and I think it helps small businesses like us give you the assurance that you want, um, without taxing a small business in a way that we can't really keep up with. So hoping that will help those of you in Brooklyn who maybe have avoided shipping for that reason to try it out.
Mhm. That's wonderful. Really, really wonderful.
All right. Good morning, Trevor.
Um,
All right. People don't have questions today, though. I'm so happy you joined just to
so we have a new formula.
Oh yeah,
Why
it's
Jill?
here. It came yesterday.
Why Jill beat up on you for not asking questions? I think it's probably over a decade since we created a new formula, right?
No, I think God formulas
Mary,
were.
it's about 10 years. Anyway, we have a new formula, and you're wondering what is this formula, Aston? I'm not asking you to spend any more money. The reason why I have created this new formula is because, as you all know, or you should know, there are about 19,000 different diseases that have been named by science, and new diseases are being formed, and especially among young people since the pandemic. The rate of diseases have skyrocketed, especially among young people. Young people are dying more, and a lot of these diseases are genetic, whether it was triggered by the pandemic. I'm not going to go into the details of that because I don't want to spread any rumors. But a lot of people are getting cancer. A lot more young people are getting cancer, prostate cancer, breast cancer, endometrial cancer. I've had a lot of young women in their 30s having ovarian cancer. That was unheard of at that age. Ovarian cancer. So this formula it can be used with the anti-inflammatory or the new formula to rebuild your genetics, rebuild your genes, your DNA. That's where life begins. That's where life begins. It begins in our genes and DNA. When we get any disease, all the 18 to 19,000 diseases that are named, every single one begins with a gene or genes going bad. So that's what this formula will do for you. And we have tried our best to make sure it's affordably priced. Is that the right way to say it?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it's called New Genesis. Now it doesn't have anything to do with Bible. Jillian doesn't like that name, but it has nothing to do with the Bible. New Genesis.
Let's just be clear.
NuSpecies Genesis.
Since you're gonna call me out,
Yeah.
I will just say that from a sales perspective, when I'm talking to clients, I like when the name of the product just tells you what it does. So that way I don't have to then explain what it does. That's all. Otherwise it's a very powerful, creative name. It's just going to take a little extra work for people to understand what it does.
I understand. And I tend to be too scientific as well. I know that. But New Genesis simply stands for new species, for the new, and the Genesis is genes. Genes, genesis of life, genesis of diseases. That's why it's called Genesis, genetic. Genes, genetic. Not the Bible. Not Moses writing the Genesis in the Bible. New Genesis.
But if you want to think of it that way too, that's fine. Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah, we're also biblical, as you all know. So that's the formula, and I want everybody on it because it also helps to kill infection very quickly, very, very quickly. And should we talk about it a little bit with how we use it and how the kids, even Nova?
Yes.
So Nova, from she was 2.5 years old.
Well, I'm not sure what you're about to say.
She's been using it.
Oh, right. Since whenever you first came out with it. So we've been testing it for a long time.
So she was, like 2.5 years old when we started giving it to her, and she loves it. It's her favorite NuSpecies formula. So all the kids we have, all our kids use it, and I use it a lot because, especially during the past year, the infection rate have skyrocketed with viruses and bacteria. So it rebuilds the genes and DNA. It also rebuilds the immune system rapidly, very, very quickly. So I think all of you should be on it. It's called New Genesis, and we only have a limited number though.
Right. We
So the
just got
right
in our
batch,
first small
we
batch.
probably won't get the right batch until maybe the end of August after testing.
I know, because we're gonna make a really large batch right now, but then it has to go through testing. Excuse me, which can take weeks depending
Yes.
on what the labs. But
Our testing is very elaborate. We have to make
right,
sure it's safe, it's clean, no virus, bacteria, chemicals, pesticides, all those things. So, and then
yeah,
we have to submit it to the FDA. So
right.
it's going to take a couple weeks.
But we can take pre-orders because it is in production and will be here. So
Okay.
we can take pre-orders.
So no pre-orders? Okay.
We do already have pre-orders. Yes, we're letting
Okay.
people know that we can take more.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
All right. So we actually have some questions now.
Okay.
Yeah.
And again, it is very nicely, affordably priced. And you got to thank Jillian for that. Do you get some credit?
It depends on if people actually think it's affordably priced once they.
It is. It is.
It's only good if you like it, as someone has said. All right. So you have some questions.
Okay.
What are the best formulas to help with type 1 diabetes management?
So, just speaking of genes, here we go. It's one of the most atypical or typical health issue. Type 1 diabetes is definitively genetic. Maybe the gene is bad or it's turned off or dysfunctional. And usually people are born with type 1 diabetes. I have not seen or heard of a case where someone was born with it. Unfortunately, it gets detected, when someone becomes a teenager or even a little older. Somehow it just got messed because children don't go to the doctor and get their glucose checked, and that's part of the reason why it's messed. So the the three best formulas to use to manage diabetes now gonna be the L-Nu, the anti-inflammatory, and Eugenesis. But since we don't have it, we don't have a small number. You're gonna go with the anti-inflammatory, L-Nu, and the detox powder with the MSM. But when the Eugenesis is out, we're gonna substitute or add it into, because we want to make sure everyone who has diabetes, they can get help as rapidly as possible. And folks, that's why we make these formulas so potent. And that's why we create these affordable packages for all of you, whether it's diabetes or blood pressure, cholesterol, whatever it is, prostate issues. We want to make sure that you are going to get better as quickly as your body can clean itself, purify itself, and rebuild itself. However, even though we have that typical starter package, you can start with less. If it's not in your budget to do the starter, you can start with less. Just talk to me or talk to the NuSpecies RNs about it.
And then specifically, with someone with type 1 diabetes, which is incurable, what can they expect? So Kayla, she properly phrased her question with management, but what would management really look like inside the body?
Right. So management are two things. One, you have to manage your glucose, because if your glucose stays too high, your A1C is going to go up, and you know what's going to happen. You will get kidney disease. It's guaranteed. Anyone who has high glucose for too long, it will destroy the kidneys, it will destroy the eye, it will destroy the heart, and it will destroy blood vessels throughout the body, neuropathy. So we're going to manage the glucose, and we're going to manage the A1C. Now, how do we do that? The beta cells in the pancreas are probably destroyed, probably completely destroyed. Those are the cells that produce insulin to regulate sugar. So that's why we have to now get your genes to and we have a lot of clients who have type 1 diabetes who we have them to manage and keep their glucose down. Can't say their names, they haven't come out and give us testimonials, but we have a lot of them, probably hundreds. So we're going to manage your type 1 diabetes by helping you to rebuild your pancreas so it can start creating some those cells to produce some insulin, some insulin. So a lot of people who have type 1, it doesn't mean that you don't have any insulin left. That's gone completely. Some people it's gone. There's none. So we can still, though, allow your body to burn the glucose from the bloodstream. That is the key. And that's what these formulas will help you to do.
Right. Great. Darnett asks, what is the best formula for breast cancer?
So if someone has cancer, any cancer at all, we would prefer that you come in for a consultation. You call us for a consultation because there are different types of breast cancer. Speaking of breast cancer, there are many different types. You have the really horrible one, they call it the triple negative. And then, if you have breast cancer and it's early stage or pre-breast cancer, precancerous, or it depends, the cancers move to the lymph nodes. So everybody has a different level of breast cancer. Not all breast cancers are the same, and everybody's body is in a different state. For a lot of women who comes to us with breast cancer, their bodies were already devastated by anemia for many years. Their whole body just devastated because they had anemia, and sometimes it's anemia that lead to all these cancers that women get. And it could be ovarian issues, thyroid issues, pituitary gland issue with prolactin issues. So if you have breast cancer, you come to us. We're look at we're looking at helping you holistically. Holistic mean your whole body. When you talk about DNA, rebuilding DNA, it's the whole body. It's not just one part. It's the whole body. It's the whole body. It's DNA, the genes, the whole body, the immune system. It's the whole body. So breast cancer or cancer is just one tiny little area in the body where there's an issue. But if you don't fix the body, the cancer will spread to other organs. And that's how people die of cancer. We die of cancer because the cancer move and destroy other organs. And that's why we have to look at this holistically. And when I say holistic, I don't mean HOLISTIC. I mean the whole body. WHOLE. Whole body, holistically. That's how we support our clients, and that's why we get extraordinary results. So I would say you should get a consultation and get your labs together so we can see what's going on with you. And if you have had a history of hormonal issues like menstrual irregularity, you have menstrual irregularity, if you have done any kind of hormone therapy, any hormone related issues you have had since you were a girl. We have clients who are 9, 10, 11 years old and they have hormonal issue, girls. So if you have had a history of that, write it down, just make some notes and let us know, because that will help us to determine how damaged your body is overall. Because a lot of times the lab reports, the PET scan, the CTs, the MRIs, they don't tell the whole story. The best story is your story, that you tell us what you've been through that led up to you getting breast cancer or any cancer.
Also, when we say the best, for us, what we're thinking is just purely what would be the most powerful thing, the most appropriate set of products you could take to support your body to fight against whatever the issue is. But there's a few layers of best, because very often people don't have unlimited funds. And so there's the best, as in, okay, if you can do this package, your body's going to have the best chance to fight. But if that's not in your budget, then the next layer of best is what what is the best you can do within your budget. That's where the consultation comes in, because
Right.
Aston could rattle off a bunch of products right now, and if it's not in your budget, you're not empowered to get started. So it's best that we start you somewhere. It's always better to do something rather than nothing, at least in terms of NuSpecies formulas, because all of our formulas are powerful. Even our most basic vitamins and minerals are extremely powerful building blocks of the DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Because we cold process our ingredients, we're not applying heat during manufacturing, you're getting the full power of what those nutrients are intended to do for your body. And so there is never a waste with taking
Right.
NuSpecies formulas. Now, whether what you take is going to help you achieve the goal you had in mind originally, that's a different story. But you certainly don't want it. Sometimes the people have to settle for just not getting worse,
Right.
buying themselves more time, feeling better during the process. So there's many different goals that can be discussed depending on what your budget can allow. And that's why the consultation is so important.
That is exactly right. And, if 10 people come to me with breast cancer, I can tell you that they're all different. They're all at different levels, their bodies, their health at different levels. And then if you decide to do surgery or radiation or chemo, that's another aspect that we have to consider in what we recommend for you and how you take what we recommend for you. So when it comes to cancer or any chronic disease, it's not simple. And that's why I wonder, how do people sell a bottle to someone with cancer and not talk to them, not see their labs, not know their medical history? That is so criminal for anyone to do that. And I hate to say that, but a lot of you have come to NuSpecies with all these chronic disease, and you see what we go through with you. We work with you not for a day, not for a month, sometimes for several years before you get out of where you are into a better place, a good place. There's no quick fix when it comes to our bodies. It's not, blood pressure, diabetes, they're not the common cold. Imagine if someone has high blood pressure, diabetes, there are a lot of devastation taking place in the person's body to be able to get to that point where it shows up in a lab report. Forget about cancer. Cancer goes to the core of life, DNA and genes, all cancers. So get your labs together and sit with us and talk with us. And then we, as you may not know, we have nurses, medical people who's going to follow you and make sure that you're taking formulas the right way, you're eating the right way, you're doing the right thing by you. We're going to be there with you. You're never alone. So if you have no friends and no family, we are your new family in health.
It's true. So good morning, Darnett. Good morning, Fitzgerald. Thank you for being here. Good morning, Megan. And then hi, Rosemary. Hi, Suzanne. Thank you for being here. All right. So I did post, Darnett, I posted the phone number. I also posted our email to send your labs, which is secure for medical information. But I also put the fax number.
Is it my Darnett?
I think so.
Maybe she asked him to somebody else.
Maybe.
Yeah, Darnett, come on. You know me. What? You be like a stranger.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe.
That's my Darnett.
Maybe. I know. I didn't want to say their full name.
She's the only one on the earth.
Well, anyway, I put the fax number in case you want to fax your labs. Okay. All right. So then Megan asks. Where's Megan? Sorry, I'm scrolling back and forth here. All right. So Megan asks, does the Queen Nanny really help with improving the female sex drive? If so, how long do I need to be on it?
Well, ladies have told me that they want to do bad things to guys when they take Queen Nanny. Some ladies, not all. They want to do bad things, really bad things. I can't use the words they use, but they want to do bad things. One lady told me she locked herself in a closet to make it pass. Truly. Actually, the testimony is on YouTube. Just go to YouTube, our website, and go on the Women's Health and just listen to those testimonials, and you will know if Queen Nanny works. Yes, it helps to. It's not Queen Nanny is not for hormones. Queen Nanny is to support the endocrine system overall. The endocrine system is the pituitary gland, the breast glands, the thyroid, the ovary, the uterus, it's all those glands, adrenal glands. So it supports those glands to balance hormones. But the Queen Nanny is not balancing your hormones. Your body is balancing the hormones. Queen Nanny has the ingredients your body is missing. Your genes are missing. Your DNA is missing. Your body, your endocrine system is missing. That's what Queen Nanny is. It's going to give your body or your laboratory in your body, it's going to give it what it needs to support itself. That's how it works. So Queen Nanny is not a hormone. It doesn't create hormone. It doesn't make hormone. It doesn't facilitate hormones. It gives the body the ingredients the body needs to create stable, healthy, balanced hormones for your endocrine system. Same thing for big boy or super big boy for men. That's what it does. A lot of guys say that, they take it and blah, blah, all the things they want to say that it does to them and whatever. It's for your hormones to keep you healthy. It helps to oxygenate your body, create good blood circulation, support the endocrine system. That's what Queen Annie and Big Boy do for men and women.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now, there can be many root causes to a lack of sex drive, including potentially medications you might be on.
Mhm.
So, if those root causes are at play, like, maybe depression, medication, there can be a lot of other things. Lack of exercise because you don't have a good enough blood flow, other diseases that restrict blood flow, which is partly why these formulas include herbs that support blood flow. That could impact whether or not Queen Nanny, Big Boy, Super Big Boy are as
Mhm.
effective as you'd like them to be.
Mhm.
And so typically that's why Aston, has these consultations so he knows what your goal is and you can check in frequently so that you're not because Megan, I hear you asking how long do you need to stay on Queen Nanny? And it makes sense because it's not that's an expensive regimen. And there's a lot of different ways Queen Nanny can be used. And so when do you start
Fertility.
experimenting?
Mhm.
Well, just meaning like, do you take one every day? Do
Right.
you
Some women need two per day.
right?
I've had a lot of women taking two Queen Annie, 2 bottles a day. Same thing with Big Boy, 2 bottles a day.
But some people take one a week. And so, like,
Right.
how do you know when you start experimenting? You don't want to be spending the money and not getting the result, but you also want to commit properly to get the result. So, but unfortunately, there is a little bit of that trial and error, and because every body is different. And so that's why Aston does consultations to just make sure that you're staying in touch and you're not spending $1 that isn't going toward the goal that you want to achieve. And certainly to weed out any other factors that could inhibit Queen Nanny from being as effective as you want it to be. So if you haven't spoken to Aston already about that, maybe you want to get on his calendar. And then how long you need to be on it. I don't know, Aston, if you have an example of ranges of time between when women have said they've started to notice those results?
So some women they would take maybe 10, 15 bottles before they get results. Some more, it all depends on how damaged your body is.
Mhm.
It all depends on how much inflammation in your body. If you have hormonal issues, ladies, you have to understand that your estrogen is probably high. If the estrogen is high, it means that your stress hormones are high, very high. And when we humans, men and women, but we're talking about women, have stress hormones that are high and your estrogen is high, those unused excess estrogen and hormones become free radicals. They become free radical inflammation. And then on top of that, ladies, the immune system now has to create new free radicals, biological free radicals to eradicate this inflammation. And because your body is weak, this is new free radical inflammation piling up in the bloodstream. And ladies, that's why you get these cysts in your ovaries, you get fibroids, you get dense breasts, you get fibrocystic breasts, you get thyroid nodules. I just told you why you have those. It's because all nodules, all cysts, lumps, bumps, all of these are storehouses. They're warehouses for excess free radical and inflammation in our body. So anyone who has a tumor, anyone who has a cyst anywhere, anyone who has a follicle, anyone who has a fibroid, anyone who has a lump, anyone who has densities in their bodies like dense breasts or fibrocystic breasts, these tissues are filled with free radical chemicals. And that's why they lead to cancer over time, because those are chemicals. Eventually, they interact with the DNA and the genes. They damage the DNA base. They damage the genetic material. The genes mutate, and that's what lead to malignancy called cancer. I just told you in that one moment how cancer develops in our bodies. All cancers, all cancers. That's how they develop. The chemicals damage the genes and DNA, and the body can't fix itself. And the damage stays there for too long until it becomes malignant. That is cancer. And then how does cancer spread? It's spread by estrogen primarily and testosterone. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, both men and women have testosterone. Those are what cause cancer cells to multiply rapidly. That's why it is so critical for all of us to have balanced, stable hormones. And that's why we have the Queen Annie. That's why we have the Big Boy and Super Big Boy
Mhm.
to help balance the hormones in our bodies.
And Suzanne says, yes, Queen is the best for sex drive, for everything overall. And it does it all for me, honestly. But she says, I have to take 2 a day.
So I didn't sell you Queen Nanny for that, Suzanne. So I'm going to send you a bill. You got to
Getting
pay for
extra
all that
perks.
fun stuff you get in. You got to pay for that, girl.
Oh my gosh. And Darnett said, yes, Aston, it's your Darnett.
Okay.
And then Rosemary's laughing. We have a hello from a family member on Instagram. I don't know if you want to be made public, but I do know who you are. Hi to Jade for us. Glad that you're watching. Hopefully the topic, well, she probably doesn't understand the topic we just talked about. We have some young guests on the show today.
Yeah.
All right. Yes, another thing I wanted to underline with what you were just explaining with the damage to DNA and genes is, and that explains exactly why none of NuSpecies products are for a disease or for a symptom. I know that's people ask questions that way because that's just the way that you are thinking of it, and we understand what you mean. But it is important for the FDA and the FTC that we always disclaim that our products are not treatments. They are not for cancer, but they are for your body, which is trying to fight that issue, whether
Right.
it's cancer or hormonal imbalance, whatever the problem might be, type 1 diabetes. So our formulas are supporting your body to fight, and it happens at the DNA and genetic level. Whatever your body couldn't do before to fight, which is why the disease or symptom developed, is hopefully what we want our formulas to help the body now do so that it can fight those things that have developed.
Right.
And that's what makes it so much more complicated when we're talking about our products is we're never selling them as treatments for a disease. We're telling you your body has to fight, and we need to find the right combination of our products to support whatever that weakness is in your body that has not allowed it to fight previously. And that can take trial and error sometimes. And then other times you take our formulas for one goal, and as Suzanne highlights, you end up getting a whole lot of other benefits.
That is quite the case, I must say.
Yeah. Okay, I think I don't know if I'm missing any. I don't think I'm missing any other questions. All right. Yeah, I think we're good. Wow, and we're only 10 minutes over today. All right. If anybody else has any other questions, feel free to pop in. We'll make a couple of other announcements. So I'm going to do that thing where I tell you we have 914 subscribers on YouTube, but we need over 1,000 to unlock certain perks that YouTube provides. It would make our live stream a whole lot better, like actual clickable links. When we mention a product that you're asking about, that link can show up on the screen and you can click it and go right to the product. But those kind of features, we can't pay for them. They only get unlocked once we get over 1,000 subscribers. So we're at 914. So if any of you are watching today that have not yet subscribed to our channel, please do that before you go. And then while you're at it, you can hit the like button on a bunch of things and tell other people about what we're doing. Share our channel. They can always watch the replays of these Q&As after. So if we hit on a topic that you thought is relevant to somebody you know, you can just fast forward to that section of the show and let them get their answer. Maybe it'll motivate them to get some help. Also, we have a discount currently running for some of the questions asked today, whether it's type 1 diabetes or breast cancer. The upgraded formulas that we have are probably going to be involved in that long-term process, and those are what are on sale right now. So I think we'll probably post. Mary's going to get that up on the screen.
Yeah, so we have our most potent formulas, potent and powerful, therefore, formulas and discount for all of you, for the NuSpecies family especially. And we know they cost a lot, and we know you need a little break because of inflation and all the stuff that's happening. So we put them on discount to give you a chance to to use them. So the discount for these upgraded formulas is a huge discount. And as if you've been taking NuSpecies for a year, you know that we usually don't approach 20% off, 25% off, and that's what we're doing on these more potent formulas. So stock it up. And, these are formulas that you can take in small dosages as well, so it can last you a lot longer. But if you have these chronic issues we're talking about, you need to feed, the body's laboratory with these formulas so that the body can fix itself. It's ultimately, Jill just mentioned treatment, cure, prevention, all of that. You want your body to do it for you. No one can stay from the outside and do it for you. And by now, with medication, You have family members and friends who are on medication for years and years. Are they still sick? Yes, because medication don't necessarily fix anything. If you want to fix your body, if you want to fix your genes, if you want to fix your DNA, if you want to fix your pancreas that has diabetes, if you want to fix your breast that has cancer, you have to get your body to fix it from the inside. You have to give your body what it needs. And that's what the NuSpecies formulas are. And now these more potent formulas, they help to support the body to work, to fix itself faster.
Emma Leonard joined, says, hi, my favorite two people. I did not know I was anyone's favorite person, except maybe my mom's. Sorry, siblings. But thank you,
boy.
Emma. That's a huge compliment. I really appreciate that. And then also, we made it easy because all the products that are on sale are just automatically discounted on the website. So you don't need to
Great.
put in a promo code or do anything. If you go into the store, they'll automatically be discounted. You don't have to actually tell the employee anything.
Awesome.
The only products that will be an issue are the God formulas, because those are not sold on the front end of the website. So you do have to call to place that order or go into the store. All right. Well, I think that we have hit all the questions. Emma says, yes, you are. I love you both. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Emma.
Thank
you
you.
all.
We love you too.
Yeah.
Wow. That certainly keeps us going. Whew. Got a little goosebumps. All right. Well, thank you all so much for being here today. I got a little bit behind on our email newsletter, so I apologize one did not go out this week. Well, one definitely didn't go out last week. I still have a chance to get one out this week. Maybe I'll send it today or tomorrow. There are so many things going on at NuSpecies, and I want to keep you informed, but also continue to motivate you to take care of your health, to take care of our bodies. Every day is a new day to make a better decision, to make even one good decision. We definitely have to, we're all on this journey together. Aston and I might have a lot of knowledge and might, create great products and have access to great products, but we have our own health challenges too. Everyone has something to deal with, and we have to just be patient with ourselves, be graceful. Life is freaking hard. Being healthy is really, really challenging in this modern world that humans have created for ourselves. And all we can do is wake up each day and say, okay, today's a new chance to make a better choice. And we hope to help you do that.
Right. So you all have a great weekend. It was great to have you with us this morning. And we look forward to seeing you soon again. And Jillian is typing away.
Yeah. Emma asks, is Bronxville open now? I said open at 11. Fitzgerald is saying, anything new to share about the medical center? We're working on it, Fitzgerald. I promise you, you will know as long as you're on our app, in our email list or on text. As soon as we have an update, you will be the first to know. Thank you for continuing to ask. All right, everyone, have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for being here, and we'll see you next week.